actually a little bit late, but
Well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Not for another 30
I'm from
seconds.
courthouse anyway.
we're gonna go ahead and start. We're about
Yes.
a couple of minutes late, but. Good evening, Washington Courthouse. It is almost 7:30 p.m. on January 22nd, 2025. Time for our second regular meeting of the month and actually of the year. So at this time, Mrs. Call will lead us in an invocation, and Mr. Chrisman will lead us in the pledge. Please stand.
Dear Heavenly Father, we come before you this evening as stewards of the community who are hoping to impart your will to improve things for the members of this community. And we ask for guidance and discernment as we make those decisions that have a lasting impact. In your name we pray. Amen.
Please join me in the pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Sylvia and Jim.
Welcome.
Roll call, Kelly.
Here we go. Call.
Here.
Chrisman.
Yes.
Hawk.
Here.
Johnson.
Here.
Schultz.
Here.
Blair.
Here.
Lynch.
Here. We have the minutes from our meeting on January 8th, which was actually 2025. But anyway, that changed. Did anybody see any other? Someone want to
I'll
make
make
a motion?
a motion that we accept these minutes as printed here.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call.
Call.
Yes.
Chrisman.
Yes.
Hawk.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Schultz.
Yes.
Blair.
Yes.
Lynch.
Yes. This is one of those meetings where we have an echo. Roll call.
Call.
Okay, and communication, Mr. Denon.
We have none. Mr. Lynch and the other members of council, tonight we have the distinct pleasure to recognize the many years of service of Charlie Hughes. And it would be beneficial if we could do that now.
Sure.
Okay.
Why not?
Charlie, you've been an exceptional police officer for many years. Come on out here. And, oh, I know why. You've convinced me that you care about us more than you ever did the dog, which is an accomplishment. But Charlie, no, you've done an exceptional job, and I believe Mr. Lynch, where did he go?
I wrote it.
He has a proclamation.
I think it's kind of unusual to see you without a dog.
18 years.
He was around the schools a lot with the dog and all those kind
You
of
need him
things.
to step out, Gail, so they can get a picture. There you go.
Oh, sorry. Okay, we have a proclamation for you, Charles. Whereas Mr. Charles E. Hughes will retire from the City of Washington Courthouse after serving said city for over 27 years, ending his service to said city in the position of Patrolman 2 K9 Handler on January 31st, 2025. And whereas the City of Washington Courthouse takes pride in the professionalism and dedication of its city personnel, and whereas the City of Washington Courthouse duly recognizes Mr. Hughes' services to the City of Washington Courthouse and desires to express best wishes for Mr. Hughes' continued prosperity and happiness upon the occasion of his retirement. Now therefore, I, Mr. Dale Lynch, Council Chairperson of the City of Washington Courthouse, Fayette County, Ohio, do hereby present this proclamation of appreciation to Mr. Charles E. Hughes and express sincere gratitude and recognition for services rendered by Mr. Hughes to the City of Washington Courthouse. And in witness whereof we have hereunto subscribed our names this 22nd day of January in the year of our Lord 2025, myself and Mr. Denon as city manager. Charles, you have been a great employee
Thank you very much.
It is hard, as the chief has said many times, for people these days to want to be police officers. You did it for 27 years, and you did it well.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Really. You want to say anything, Charles?
It's been a joy serving the city for 27 years. I honestly will say the best joy was Canine Hammer. That was my forte, and I really enjoyed the opportunity to do that.
Do you guys back there want to say anything?
We're gonna miss him. He's not many more of him left. So the dedication to the job was evident every day, put the uniform on. And to do it for 27 years, we appreciate it.
Thank you.
We're gonna miss you a lot.
Appreciate that.
The level of expertise, we're not gonna be able to fill. It's gonna take years to get that kind of experience back, and we're gonna have a big hole to fill once you're gone, and we're gonna miss you a lot.
Appreciate it.
I have a question for you, sir.
Yes.
Does the dog retire with you?
He's already retired.
You know,
Honestly, he's probably sleeping on the bed right now.
Charlie, do you remember what happened many years ago when I had a truck stolen? I don't know if you remember that or not. I had a truck stolen from my house one time. They called police, they sent Charlie out, but Charlie comes out and the truck's going obviously. So, and he starts taking the report, and I says, now Charlie, he said, you had anything in the truck? I said, well, in the front seat of that truck, I just had a brand new overcoat that I had bought. But it was brand new. I said, I never even wore the coat. It was laying in the front seat. I said, but inside that pocket was a lip balm, never used. I said, if you could get me back that lip balm, I'd really appreciate it. And he's writing this down. He said, what? And the continuation of that story is, we found that truck in Dayton, Ohio. I went and got the truck, brought it back home, called Charlie up and said, Charlie, I got my truck back. And I sold it to him 2 weeks later, a couple weeks later, I sold it to Charlie. He bought it from me, and he got the lip balm. But I don't know if you remember that. You were very serious, right down along, and I said, in that pocket was a lip balm. I never used it. If you could get me that back, I'd really appreciate it. Heck with the truck.
Well, Charles, it's not just me, I'm really thankful for your service. It's everybody on the city council. So can we get a picture with Mr. Denon and Mr. Pitstick, because you probably have given him a lot of people. And if you'll come up here, we'll get council behind us here, because we all want to say thanks, not just me, but everybody here. We really appreciate it. I absolutely want these guys.
Let's leave the chair
Push
back.
it in,
We don't
or-
want to stand
Actually,
in
I'll
front
look
of
down
us.
beside you, I'll
Yeah,
move
move
that.
that chair up. Can we get up here?
Short guy has a window.
Everybody can see everybody. 1, 2.
Never know when they're taking the picture.
I didn't take one yet. I'm gonna wait till she gets a little.
She's a fast picture taker.
Yes, we'll do
Okay.
this
Oh.
city website here. Ready? Count of 3. 1,
How they use the
2,
phone with his name.
3. There you go. I was taking it years ago.
You try your best not to look old.
What's that?
Try your best not to look so old.
Yeah, that was funny. He didn't buy it.
I'm sure you made a profit.
Probably, more than likely. But that was funny. You stand there
I got
taking
you
a report
now.
and he
I
said,
got you.
what?
Oh, I am.
Charlie? Hey, Charlie,
It was going when I got the truck
thanks for
back.
your service.
The back
You're
window
very
was
well
knocked
appreciated.
out and the steering column was all
Very well.
screwed up.
I know you've
When
been
went
out to our
the
place a
guy
time or two.
says, I said,
You've been out to our place, I think, a
He
time
said,
or
oh, you
two.
need a screwdriver.
When Doc didn't want
When I
us
drove
unloading the
home,
truck.
I didn't like it.
Who knows what all.
I'm sorry.
That's how it
When
was.
Doc didn't want us unloading the truck in the alley, he told you to move your cruiser. That went over like a wet balloon. That was a challenging day. Yes, it was.
Overcoated.
Well, you had your
He
helmet
thought I
with you.
wanted the London.
Hey, Charlie, we'll pray for your family too. I know
I do
that's,
appreciate
Take
that.
care.
That
That's
means
something you
an
need.
awful lot.
Charlie, you take care.
we'll pray for you, your
Take care.
wife.
You're doing great. See you guys.
Good, Mr. Denon, that's a good thing to do. I'm glad he came in.
Oh, it's a good thing. It's not my favorite thing.
You hate to lose those people.
Yeah, Charlie, he's a good fellow. Fine fellow.
Okay, there's no other communication, I assume.
No.
Okay, report of council, committee, service, safety, recreation. Mr. Hawk, you've got a nice blue paper there.
It's not all blue, I spilled some stuff on it.
With coffee spills on it.
The Service, Safety, and Recreation Committee met in the council chambers located at 105 North Main Street on Wednesday, January 8, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. Mr. Ted Hawk presided, and those in attendance were Mr. Jim Chrisman, council member, Mr. Steve Schultz, council member, Mr. Caleb Johnson, council member, Mr. Jim Blair, council member, Mrs. Sylvia Call, council member, Mr. Dale Lynch, council chairperson, Mr. Gary Dean, service director, Mr. Jody Langley, assistant fire chief, Mr. Tim Downing, fire chief, Mr. Jeff Venari, police chief, Mr. Mark Pistic, city attorney, and Mr. Joe Denon, city manager. Number one, the committee benefited from a report by the fire department. Chief Downing reviewed the 2024 year-end departmental statistics. Number two, Chief Venari addressed the committee and reported the 2024 year-end statistics for the police department. Number three, Chief Venari noted the upcoming retirement of Patrolman Charlie Hughes. Number four, Chief Venari noted that the recent hire would be attending the Ohio State Patrol Academy beginning the 1st of February. Number five, Chief Venari noted his concern with the statewide issue of decreased applications. Chief Venari continued and reported that both police lieutenants would be attending an upcoming seminar to improve employee recruitment. Number six, the committee benefited from a report on the status of various service projects within the community. All actions had been impacted by the weather. Number seven, the committee recommended that the administration proceed to join a list of communities objecting to the AT&T attempt to tear up utility locates in public right-of-ways. Number eight, Mr. Gary Dean, service director, noted that 180 hours of overtime had been accumulated and over 130 tons of salt used during the recent inclement weather. Mr. Dean continued and expressed his appreciation to all the departments for their joint effort with snow removal. Mr. Dean noted that snow removal continued. Number nine, the administration advised the committee of several water main breaks. The administration expressed their appreciation of the service department and water distribution department for their work to resolve issues in a timely manner during harsh conditions. Respectfully submitted, Ted Hawk, Chairperson, Service, Safety, and Recreation Committee, Mrs. Kelly Ford, Recording Secretary.
Thank you, Mr. Hawk. Any questions? Does someone want to make a motion to accept that report?
I'll make a motion to accept it as read.
I'll second.
Roll call, Kelly.
Call.
Yes.
Chrisman.
Yes.
Hawk.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Schultz.
Yes.
Blair.
Yes.
Lynch.
Yes. Oh, Gail, I want to mention something. If you're going to put a picture in the paper, will you put the one of everybody? It's not, the whole council's thanking him, even though I read the thing. It's really all of us want to recognize him, so I would appreciate that. Okay, Mr. Denon, you're up to bat.
I want to thank everybody and note how incredibly lucky you are because you've had some other folks here today to talk to you instead of having to listen to me in the evening. AT&T, they withdrew that attempt for the tariff, which is good news, but it is the phone company, which means that it will come back. Because if you're AT&T, you assume you're correct about everything. Weather, you know, everybody knows that it's been cold out. A lot of folks like the street department and certainly police and fire, guys on the collection crew or the folks on the water distribution crew, their work still goes on even though it's incredibly cold out. Now you take more precautions and sometimes you stop to come back to the service department to warm up a little bit, but that work continues, and really in particular, the dedication shown by the street department of late has been exceptional. That is something of which I'm incredibly proud, and the help that the other departments have given them. That has been exceptionally nice, and I'm incredibly proud of that. You got one piece of new legislation, which I need to look at it because I will butcher it if I don't. Supporting the Ohio Commission for the United States Semi-Quintennial America 250 Ohio. Basically, that is to recognize and celebrate the contributions of Ohioans to the prosperity of the nation, and passing the legislation. We'll participate in that. There might be an opportunity for a little bit of grant money, and so forth. So it's not a particularly controversial item, but we'd appreciate it if we could proceed with that. Honda LG. I just wanted to express tonight what a tremendous pleasure it is to work with all the Honda folks and all the LG folks. How incredibly proud I am of the progress that is occurring in Jefferson Township, and how we look forward to a very long, a very productive relationship, and about how they have been genuinely interested in the future of the community. And that is given completely without reservation. I wasn't going to talk about it tonight, but Gail mentioned it. SOS is on the website. And what that is there's a system now if you want to register and provide safety services with information so that they already have it, like when the squad responds, they already know what your blood type is. You can do that if you choose. There's no requirement to do it. Some folks will probably look at that and say, that's more information than I think anybody needs to know about me other than me. Which is perfectly fine. You don't have to do that, but it would in some cases obviously expedite some things. But you can look at that and take advantage of that if you want to or not. But that is something that's live on the website now, and we're very happy with that. That's everything I have to talk about before I introduce a guest.
Any questions for Mr. Denham before he introduces the guest? Okay.
Tonight we are very happy to have the Ohio Consumers Council with us, Maureen Willis, and she will talk to you about the Office of the Consumers Council and some interesting issues and important issues in the state of Ohio. And we're just incredibly proud that she's been able to join us tonight. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The pleasure's mine. It's a little hard act to follow with Charlie up here and his 27 years of service, so I will try to engage. My name is Maureen Willis. I am the Ohio Consumers Council, and with me I have Catherine Metz, who is our Senior Outreach and Education Specialist. We are from the Ohio Consumers Council, and we provided a slide presentation. We usually do a slideshow, but in this instance we have the hard copies, so you'll have to excuse me if I'm a little rusty. Usually have my little clicker at hand. So a little bit about our office before I talk to you about the utility bills that your residents will see on the rise. That presents kind of a double whammy. The OCC, the Ohio Consumers Council, was founded in 1976, so we're pretty old. We're coming up on our 50-year anniversary. We're a state agency. We're an independent state agency. We're not a member of the governor's cabinet, and we're not funded by the general revenue. We are funded by a little charge on your utility bill. For every $100 you pay in utility bills, you pay 3 cents to support our office. So we think we're a really good deal. We're out there. What we do is we advocate for residential consumers only, not businesses, not industrial customers, but we represent the residents in your city. What we do is we advocate for lower rates, just and reasonable rates. We advocate before the Public Utilities Commission. We also look after your interests in the General Assembly and give our opinions and testimony on legislation that affects you and your rates. We're also very active at the Ohio Supreme Court and at the federal level before the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission. We're very active, very much busy. This is a busy time for us. We have 4 or 5 cases going on in Columbus right now. We are governed by a governing board who consists of ordinary citizens, 9 members appointed by the Attorney General and confirmed by the Senate. Our mission and vision, you'll see in the slides or in the handout, is to educate and advocate for residential consumers. We think it's important that consumers are educated and know about energy choices and know about what their energy bill means to them. So what we came here tonight to talk to you about, and thank you for the invitation and the ability to talk to you, is about your utility bills. Residents will potentially see their utility bills rise. And why? Well, right now there are 2 companies that provide utility service to your residents that have proposed rate increases before the Public Utilities Commission. One of them is CenterPoint. CenterPoint is asking for a 25% increase in the distribution rates that it charges. And then we have AES Ohio, and they're asking for a 14% total bill increase. So you get the double whammy. You're going to get hit with an electric increase, and you're going to get hit with a gas increase. And what our job is to do is to advocate for your interests before the PCO and keep those rate increases down. So you will see on the slides what could increase. This is really about a portion of your electric and utility bill. It's about the distribution portion. Your bill consists of 3 portions: distribution, transmission, and supply. This is about 1 portion of your bill. So it's the distribution piece, which is how the electricity and the gas gets to your homes, so that when you turn on the light or you turn on your water heater and go to take a shower, everything works. So if you go on further to our slides, we will show you, well, before we get there, let me say that right now we understand that the city has an electric and gas aggregation program. That's a good idea. Aggregation is a way to save. In Ohio, electricity has been deregulated. You can choose to stay with your utility or you can go shop. What we found out is when you shop, it's hard to find a good deal, and it can be very complicated, can be a lot of decisions, but aggregation is certainly a way to save money. So the city involved in aggregation, you're getting certainly a good deal on the electric side. You're paying, your rate is 6.19 cents per kW, and the service you get from AES would be at 8.58 cents. So you have a good deal there. Natural gas, you're paying a little more than the standard choice offer, but that will be in the end of this month, I guess February, you'll have a new contract, so you'll be able to negotiate. So again, aggregation, good idea, good for the community to do that, good for your residents. So if you look into the package, you'll see the specific bill impacts, and this is what a consumer would see. And they're the orange and the red lines, the orange and red the slides with the orange and red bars. And so you'll see on CenterPoint, the current bill is about $91. That if their increase is granted at 100%, it will go up to $115 a month. That's the distribution. Again, we're only talking about 1 portion of the bill. In terms of AES Ohio, the current bill you receive is about $153, and that's going to go up, if they get what they want, to $174. And this is, we're talking about monthly charges. If you take a look at our slide that shows a combined consumer impact, your bill is going to go from potentially $254 a month to $290 a month. Those are significant increases. So you say, well, what can we do? Well, that's what we're here to talk about. we're encouraging the community as well as citizens to come out and to testify at the local public hearings that are to be scheduled, and to file comments at the commission. You can file comments in the cases by going online, and we've got the information on our website. I think it's also here in this presentation. Those comments and the resolutions make a difference. The PUCO, the way the process goes is the PUCO acts as the court or the judge, and we put on, our OCC and other parties put on experts and would recommend something much less, certainly much less than the utilities are asking for increases on, and we put on a case. And as part of that case, the PUCO looks at the evidence. And the great thing about resolutions and the great thing about comments and the great thing about testimony at these public hearings is it all becomes part of the record. And the PUCO must, as a matter of law, rely on that evidence in making its decision. So while we in Columbus can put on a case with experts and go on for pages and pages and talk about numbers and talk about concepts and formulas, what we really need is we need consumers to come out and to tell the commissioners who make the decisions on the case, how would this bill increase affect their lives? What does it mean to them to get a 30% increase on their gas bill? What does it mean to them to get a 15% increase on their gas bill? So our whole plea here is for you to get out and to let your residents know that their voice can be heard and it can make a difference in case. So we also have sort of a timeline, so you're saying, well, okay, this is, what is this process? How important is it to get, for us to be heard? Well, it's important. What happens first is the utility files their applications, and both CenterPoint and AES have filed applications for increases. And then what happens is the PUCO staff looks at the application, makes a recommendation, then hearings are held. And a part of the hearing process is having the local public hearings. The law requires that if you have a community of more than 100,000 residents, that you must have a local public hearing. So at those local public hearings, one commissioner attends. There's a court reporter. She takes down the words that people say, and those words, again, as we said, become part of the record, something that the PUCO must look at when they're making their decision. So again, want to emphasize that that's how you can participate. And you might be saying, well, I don't know what to say. I don't understand how this affects me. Well, we have materials on our website. It's called Consumer Alerts, and the Consumer Alerts gives you information about the case. So you can find out how much they're asking, what the bill impact is. Potentially we'll have the local public hearings on when they become scheduled, and also information about how to file comments. If you don't want to attend public hearings, certainly, as we said, you can file comments and go online. So there's lots of good information, and I'll put in a plug right now for our website. We have a great website. It's got all kinds of information on. It's got information about financial assistance for consumers. It's got information about how to choose. It's, I could go on and on and on. It's a great website. We love the website. We try to make it interactive, so please do go to our website, take a look at it. I think you'll find it very, very interesting. So I think I've kind of covered everything, other than I want Catherine to come up and talk about the consumer assistance, the energy assistance that's available. I know these are times when people are having a hard time paying their bills. And so we have a lot of information on our website, and Catherine will kind of give you highlights on what financial assistance is available and how to apply for that assistance. But again, in advance, thank you, and I'll turn it over to Catherine.
Maureen, I got a question real quick.
Sure.
While you're up here. So just to clarify, I guess, what can we do as a council body specifically? Because I think you mentioned some things that individuals can do. What could we do, and maybe have Joe assist you in doing to help you?
Commissioner Johnson, great question. What you can do, and we've been happy to help, is draft a resolution. Put a resolution out there, kind of like the proclamation, but a resolution that says, we oppose this rate increase. It's going to harm our community. It's not good for our businesses. Our residents can't afford it, and we oppose it. So that is something that we have. We work with the community. Certainly can give you a draft of a proposed resolution. It really is a great thing to have, and I will say, the office has been out and about in the state. We've been making many appearances in the state to try to get councils and townships to pass resolutions, and I think they really make a difference. So that would be the primary thing that I would suggest. Certainly also suggest if council members could come to the public hearings when those are scheduled, that makes a big difference. They like to see, it's great to see city council members and mayors and representatives coming to those hearings and presenting testimony.
Okay, thank you.
How far along the timeline is this?
Well, the both, let me check, I got that in my notes. Kind of hard for me sometimes to keep track of all the cases we got going on. The AES application was filed in November of 2024, so we would expect decision maybe next year. Usually takes about 9 to 10 months. Usually we would have, I would expect local public hearings perhaps to be scheduled in February and March. But again, we will put out an alert. We'll actually contact the communities that we talk to and let them know what those hearings are and when they are. On the Center Point, the application was filed in October of 2024, so probably a decision around the same time, maybe public hearings around the same time as well.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi, everyone. Just a couple of words on assistance programs that some Washington Courthouse residents may be able to take advantage of. The Home Energy Assistance Program, also known as HEAP, is running now through the end of May, and individuals or households can apply for this either online, by mail, or in person at Fayette's Community Action Agency. That helps families who are at 175% of the federal poverty guideline or below to receive a one-time credit on their main source of heating bill. And those benefits can go up to $1,200. So for some households, that credit may last them, half a year worth of natural gas payments. That's a federally funded program. The second component of HEAP is the Winter Crisis Program, which is also available through Fayette County Community Action. That needs to be applied for in person, and it's for households who are in threat of disconnection from their gas or electric. It expires at the end of March, and it's a way for families at that same income level to prevent a disconnection by receiving this federally funded money. You also here in Fayette County have your Salvation Army housed within the community action. I spoke to Judy Havens last week. She was incredibly helpful, and I cover 33 counties in my region. That was the first community action agency where I've called and got a live person on the phone who was willing to talk and answer my questions. And that is just an incredible thing for your residents to have the ability to talk to someone, not just get a recording and maybe get a call back in a few days. So that's a blessing. So Salvation Army from time to time has money as well. So if a family is in need of assistance with their utility bills, but they're over that 175% of the federal income guideline, money that's administered through the Salvation Army may be able to help them pay their bills as well. Thanks.
Mrs. Willis and Mrs. Metz, thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
We appreciate your coming and sharing with us.
Yeah, and I happen to have a few extra consumer alerts with me for both the AES and the Centerpoint cases. I'll leave them here for members of the public to take, and maybe if you have anywhere public you can post them, that would be great, so more people can see them and see how to make their voices heard. Again, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, very informative.
I have a question.
Sure.
Our city manager goes to a lot of work to negotiate our rates, and then we have an aggregate rate. And then you got all these people running around sending letters or going door to door and offering, they say a better rate, but they're actually comparing it to what would originally be the utilities rate.
Right.
But they're not always real honest about it, and they're confusing to people, and most people don't really have a clue what's going on. So is there anything you can do about regulating these people that go around trying to change?
I mean, you pose a question, which is, we deal with that all the time. We don't like the marketing. We think the marketing can be, we've seen lots of deceptive marketing and manipulative marketing. We don't like the door-to-door. We're actually working on legislation to prohibit door-to-door marketing because we find that particularly offensive. We find that that's really where a lot of the arm twisting occurs. So we really want to, that is something we're working on. We do get involved in cases at the PUCO to represent consumers when complaints are made about manipulative practices. But it is, that with the deregulation that the state has made the choice that marketers can come in and do that. So what we have to work on is we have to work on being very vigilant when they're misleading consumers. And again, as I said, we are working with legislators to block that door-to-door sales. And I would indicate that your representative, at least your senator, is Senator Wilkin. We have talked to Senator Wilkin about blocking the door-to-door or prohibiting door-to-door. We'll see where that goes. I know there's going to be a lot of there's going to be a big energy law that they're talking about, and that's one of the things we want in the energy law, along with affordability provisions. So that is something we're aware of, and it is what it is. The one tool that we generally push consumers to, if they need to, if they feel like they want to go and dip their toe into the shopping for energy, is the PUCO has a website called Apples to Apples. And if you look at the Apples to Apples, it'll tell you what the price you have to beat from the utility is, and it gives you all the options. So, but again, it's not for the faint of heart to go in and take a look at that. It's very confusing, but yeah, it's certainly that's the way it is in the state of Ohio, and all we can do really is try to limit the number of consumers that get ripped off by marketers. But thank you for that question.
Thank you.
Ted, we actually have an ordinance that regulates door-to-door sales, and I had great joy the other day. A natural gas marketer had started to market without a permit, and then he came in and wanted a permit. So I simply concluded that since you started without a permit, I'm not going to give you one. We started to fiddle with the door-to-door marketing ordinance, and quite honestly, we started to get it to be a bit too complicated. One easy thing that might deter a lot of it is if we simply increase the permit fee, which, Kelly, off the top of your head, can you remember what that is?
It's $100.
$100. So if we simply made that more expensive and maybe came up with one or two more due diligence things that we should do that might take up some time, Mr. Pitstick.
Okay.
That would be, I think, helpful to the situation.
So these utility salesmen wouldn't mind it if we raised our rates?
Well, they probably won't like it, but.
Oh, okay.
But sometimes
Not a whole lot they can do about it.
it isn't always just door to door. They send out letters too.
Yeah.
And they can do that. I really think the most egregious in practice is that door to door, and we're trying to do what we can. I know that the Northwest Ohio NOPEC, who I think is your aggregator, they have their program. They have a model program, like it's called Block the Knock. So they may have some ideas about how to make it a little bit more effective. Because they work across the state with a number of communities. So I would maybe check out their website, and their executive director, Chuck Kuiper, is very helpful and very, very much a consumer advocate and sees things from the consumer side. So I think he's a great person to contact at NOPEC about that. But it's kind of like the law is what the law is, and unless we make changes to the law, and we, for instance, prohibit statewide the door-to-door, it's still going to continue. So I would say talk to Senator Wilkin, let Senator Wilkin know. So
What has Bob Peterson been saying to you?
Well, now Bob Peterson, I have not talked to Bob Peterson. He is your other rep. I do not know if he's one that has been on, not sure he's been on the Public Utilities Committee. Some of them that are on the Public Utilities Committee are the ones that we generally interact with. Again, I can't recall meeting with Bob Peterson on this issue, but you know, certainly Senator Wilkin is out there, has got an energy bill, and it would be nice to slip that right into their bill, so.
Okay.
Thank you.
Again,
Thank
thank you. Thank you. Okay, moving on. I think, Mr. Sockman, everybody who's here right now was here when you made your report earlier. Do you want to say anything else? That's fine. I guess
It's my bedtime.
people who are online watching, but if you want to make any quick statement.
Overall, compared to last year, our statement of cash puts us in a good, stable position. So going into this year, you know, we're comfortable with where we're at, again, compared to last year. So again, it's a good positive thing to say we're in a stable position financially.
Thank you. Mr. Pitstick?
I have no report, Mr. Chairman.
We have no local residents who have signed up, but we have quite a bit of legislation that's been previously introduced. So we'll start on that with resolution number R1, 2025, second reading.
I move that we place resolution number R1 2025 on second reading.
Second. Discussion? Roll call?
Call.
Yes.
Chrisman.
Yes.
Hawk.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Schultz.
Yes.
Blair.
Yes.
Lynch.
Yes.
Resolution number R1-2025, a resolution confirming Joseph J. Denon, City Manager of the City of Washington Courthouse, reappointment of Mrs. Tammy Bath to the City of Washington Courthouse Board of Zoning Appeals for a term concluding December 31st, 2028.
I'll move for adoption.
I'll second.
Roll call?
Call.
Yes.
Chrisman.
Yes.
Hawk.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Schultz.
Yes.
Blair.
Yes.
Lynch.
Yes. Resolution number R2, 2025, second reading.
I move we place resolution number R2, 2025 on second reading.
I'll second.
Discussion? Roll call?
Call.
Yes.
Chrisman.
Yes.
Hawk.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Schultz.
Yes.
Blair.
Yes.
Lynch.
Yes.
Resolution number R2-2025, a resolution confirming Joseph J. Denon, City Manager of the City of Washington Courthouse, appointment of Mr. Martin Renison to the Civil Service Commission for the term concluding December 31st, 2027.
Move for adoption.
I'll second.
Roll call?
Call.
Yes.
Chrisman.
Yes.
Hawk.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Schultz.
Yes.
Blair.
Yes.
Lynch.
Yes. Resolution number R3, 2025, second reading.
I'll move we put resolution R3, 2025 on second reading.
I'll second.
Discussion? Roll call?
Call.
Yes.
Chrisman.
Yes.
Hawk.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Schultz.
Yes.
Blair.
Yes.
Lynch.
Yes.
Resolution number R3-2025, a resolution confirming Joseph J. Denon, City Manager of the City of Washington Courthouse, reappointment of Mr. Branson Moody to the City of Washington Courthouse Board of Zoning Appeals for a term concluding December 31st, 2028.
Move for adoption.
I'll second.
Roll call?
Call.
Yes.
Chrisman.
Yes.
Hawk.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Schultz.
Yes.
Blair.
Yes.
Lynch.
Yes. Resolution number R4, 2025, second reading.
I'll move we put resolution R4, 2025 on second reading.
I'll second.
Discussion? Roll call?
Call.
Yes.
Chrisman.
Yes.
Hawk.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Schultz.
Yes.
Blair.
Yes.
Lynch.
Yes.
Resolution number R4-2025, a resolution confirming Joseph J. Denon, City Manager of the City of Washington Courthouse, reappointment of Mr. Kirk Wilson to the City Planning Commission of the City of Washington Courthouse for a term concluding December 31st, 2028.
I'll
Move
move
for
for-
adoption.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry.
Sylvia did it. I'll second it.
Okay. Roll call.
Call.
Yes.
Chrisman.
Yes.
Hawk.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Schultz.
Yes.
Blair.
Yes.
Lynch.
Yes. Resolution number R5, 2025, second reading.
I move that we place resolution number R5, 2025 on second reading.
Second.
Go ahead, Jim.
Okay, discussion. Roll call.
Call.
Yes.
Chrisman.
Yes.
Hawk.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Schultz.
Yes.
Blair.
Yes.
Lynch.
Yes.
Resolution number R5-2025, a resolution confirming Joseph J. Denon, City Manager of the City of Washington Courthouse, appointment of Michelle Patton to the Tree Committee for the term concluding December 31st, 2028.
Move for adoption.
Second.
Roll call.
Call.
Yes.
Chrisman.
Yes.
Hawk.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Schultz.
Yes.
Blair.
Yes.
Lynch.
Yes. Our new legislation is resolution number R6, 2025. I can't wait for Kelly to pronounce that word. Someone want to make a motion?
What's he said, Joel? Oh, my goodness. I'll make a motion that we take resolution R6, 2025 and put it on first reading.
I'll second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Call.
Yes.
Chrisman.
Yes.
Hawk.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Schultz.
Yes.
Blair.
Yes.
Lynch.
Yes.
Resolution number R6-2025, a resolution authorizing the City of Washington Courthouse, Fayette County, Ohio, supporting the Ohio Commission for the United States Semi-Quincentennial American 250-OH.
You did it.
There you go.
Good job.
You did it better than Joe did it. can I
Oh,
tell you?
that's good.
That's semi-word.
Good job, Kelly, on all those readings. Okay,
That passes.
Sylvia, what do you have tonight?
Extending a thank you to the Washington Courthouse Rotary Club for having me come in and talk a little bit about some different things that I do. One of those things being working towards getting an inclusive playground, and thank you for the donation that I learned this evening they made towards that playground. So very grateful for that. That's all I've got.
And I told her she made such an impression on one of the students there. This is the truth, right? That the student got in touch with me, because I'd had her last year, and asked what she could do to help raise funds
Here you go.
for those.
Super exciting.
So you
That's
made
wonderful.
a great impression on the young people there.
Well, that's wonderful.
It is.
Thank you.
Mr. Hawk, what do you got, pal?
Well, I was around for the Ohio Sesquicentennial, I think, and that
Okay.
was a big deal back then.
1803, wasn't it?
18.
I was pretty young.
There was a horse and 10 right behind it.
But anyway, they had a contest during that time, all kinds of stuff, just to promote it, and to grow beards and see who had the best beard. And I think Mr. Kramer, one of the teachers, won it. I wasn't old enough to have one yet, so. But anyway, it can be exciting. I think this is something to celebrate.
Yeah.
When is it?
That's all.
When is it?
I don't know.
This year, is it?
Is it this year?
It
Okay.
A yes.
Have we got any plans for
Kelly
it?
can say it better than you can.
Well, I think what Ted is talking about is the celebration of the cities.
Yes.
And this
Or
is a
state
little
of
bit
Ohio.
different.
Was it
I
state
thought,
of Ohio?
I thought it was state of Ohio.
I thought it was the cities.
1803, it was state of Ohio, wasn't it?
Yeah, we state of Ohio.
Or was it?
I remember the city one, by the way.
Was
Yeah,
there
the
more than
city
one
one.
then?
Not that I remember.
Okay.
It was a
Well, I mean, was there a
I
state
think
one
it
in the
was
past
the
and the city one also?
Well,
175th anniversary.
In 2000, it was in 2003,
Mm-hmm.
the state,
Yeah, had something.
1803, 2003.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and because they
they
painted
had
all
it
the
painted on
barns.
barns, yeah.
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 Mhm. Yeah.
But this was in 78, I think.
Oh, Oh, there was one. What was that song? Yes.
Sesquicentennial.
Yes, it was. Remember, because they had a big parade.
I even remember how to say
The
it.
kids
Yeah.
all had their
1831.
bicycles all decorated coming up the street. I have pictures of it at home.
I don't know if I'm supposed to be making notes a little.
I'll be darned. You're right, Ted. You're right.
Mr. Christman.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming, including the city employees, of which we have new ones. It took me 82 years to figure out that I don't like cold, snow, and ice. I'm a slow learner, even though Dad thought I was kind of right, he used to call me son. That's all I have.
Mr. Shields.
Well, that's very good, Jim. I appreciate that. But no, I want to congratulate Charlie Hughes on the 27 years with the police department. I think that's fantastic. He does a great job. He is going to be an employee that's going to be missed. Charlie's always been a very good police officer. He's always been very fair. He listens. He makes good decisions, I believe, as a police officer. And so he is going to be one of them that's going to be very difficult to replace. I think the city did a great job. I told Mr. Dean earlier this evening about the snow removal that we had in the recent weeks. And the city has done a fantastic job of moving all that snow and making the streets clear again and being able to drive through the town. So I want to congratulate all those folks on that. And then a lot of exciting things for this year. I'm looking forward to this year, things coming up, things we gotta do. And you're right, we may have to have a little election here between now and November. So we'll be working on those, several of us will be working on that, I'm sure. So it's an exciting year, exciting time, and I'm up for the challenge. So thank you very much, appreciate it.
Mr. Blair.
I have nothing tonight, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Blair. Mr. Johnson.
Well, I've had an exciting week watching the Buckeyes. I am an Ohio State alumni. Faithfully went to all of the football games, and so I just love Ohio State football, and we're all happy to be national champions.
Well, there's some people back that probably aren't.
Well, you know.
Well,
did I
you
say
know,
that because you were here?
Michigan can't be alone in that championship, so I guess it must have been.
You can't be alone if they're not invited. So there's that. Also, thank you. I think I'm seeing here. I did not know this whenever she was speaking, but it looks like PhD K. Wells. So Dr. Wells, who was Dr. Wells was very good to meet earlier. And also, of course, thank you to the people from the Ohio Consumers Council for coming. I did not know about the rate increases which were being pushed, and so yeah, anything we can do to help people in our community by passing a resolution, I would be all for.
Absolutely, yes.
Mr. Johnson, I played soccer at Ohio State.
So,
well, phys ed, but.
Oh, okay.
Just so you know.
Okay.
On the Honduras national team or something.
All I can say is, I went to Miami University and we won the Snoop Dogg Bowl.
You did.
That's the true statement. And I think that ranks right up with the national championship. To win the Snoop Dogg, and I'm
have
kidding.
to have something to brag about.
I'm kidding, obviously. But we did win, and Snoop gave us the trophy, so, I mean, gee whiz.
Well, that's good you asked for.
Anyway, and that's a true story, by the way. I'm looking also forward to a great year. I enjoy working with everybody on this council and everybody that works for the city. And so that makes the job so much easier. And I appreciate all of you, all those police officers that were here. Oh my gosh, it's been awfully cold to be out being a fireman or a policeman or a service department worker. I appreciate them. With that, does someone want to make a motion?
So moved.
I'll second.
Roll call, Kelly.
Call.
Yes.
Chrisman.
Yes.
Hawk.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Schultz.
Yes.
Blair.
Yes.
Lynch.
Yes, we are adjourned at about 8:26 or